Hey everyone, it is Monday. That means it's time for the weekly draft video, and here we are recording the very first draft video in a draft league. We're in a 6-2-2-2 draft league. All the other videos I recorded were recorded before draft leagues were out, but I'm pretty pumped about draft leagues for the most part. There are some downsides about it, but the fact that I now don't have to budget 3 hours of consecutive time to draft is pretty awesome. I mean, it saves a huge amount of time. You don't have to do all the rounds at once. You also don't have to deal with downtime. As soon as your match ends, you can try to play your next match. So it's pretty sweet. I'll be back with you guys when we get our last player. All right, so here is our pack. Do like Stromkirk Occultist, but I think Galvanic Bombardment's just better. It's just a really strong card. Tingleclaw Werewolf is also quite good. Mockery of Nature can be. But yeah, this pack's overall not strong. I mean, I think it just goes Galvanic Bombardment, Occultist, and then Tangleclaw. And then everything else in the pack is kind of medium. But we'll take the Bombardment, so at least we get the good one. The bad news is the other really good card in this pack is red, but that's okay. What are you going to do? But yeah, so these sealed leagues or draft leagues are nice. Like right now, I don't have time to do anything other than the draft, but I can do the draft and then come back later and play the 3 matches, which is awesome. So I'm glad they got draft leagues. I was a little disappointed about the idea at first, just because it takes away like a key part of drafting in a way, in that you don't know what all, like, you never know all the cards in a pool, of course, but you know if you're passing a mythic to someone, there's a chance you're going to see it. So, and you can't really, doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, so this pack also not overly exciting for me. There's an Olivia's Dragoon, which would have gone well with the Occultist that we passed. Another Rise from the Grave. Lone Rider, pretty good-ish. I mean, you really have to get there on it. Exultant Cultist is fine. I think it's just either the Dragoon or the Cultist, neither of which are very exciting to me. But those I think are the best cards. I'm leaning towards the Dragoon more than the Cultist. Yeah, we'll just take the Dragoon. Yeah, these first 2 picks have been kind of... I guess Galvanic Bombardment's good, but... Ooh. Well... Sigardian Priest and Blessed Alliance indicates to me white is pretty open. I do like Certain Death, but I think both the Priest and Blessed Alliance are far better. Which one do we want? Now, if we take in the guy who transforms and you gain life, it would be this, and someone may be about to pick this up, and that's something to... Oh, actually, it's not something to keep in mind. See, that's my point. Now it doesn't matter as much. So I think I'm going to take the Priest. As much as I like Blessed Alliance, the Priest is just super good. I also like Ironclad Slayer, especially if we end up with black and you have enchantment-based removal. But yeah, I think I just like the Priest more than Blessed Alliance. Okay, well, here's a Vidden Pack Outcast, which is pretty good. Or Vilden, I suppose. Enlightened Maniac. That's about it in this pack that's notable to me. I think we probably take the Outcast, though. He's just great. I mean, he's just good in so many situations. Ooh, a Mythic. Not one you really want in Limited, though. So I think we're going to try to be red-white here. This pack hasn't showing me anything that makes me want to change my mind. I think we just take Guardian of Pilgrims. Don't like the Geist a whole lot. So yeah, we'll take the Guardian. Red-white aggro it is. You know, I don't know if I've actually drafted red-white in this format. Maybe I have. Maybe I've even recorded one, but it seems like it's been a while. I, for example, can't remember ever playing Ride Down, which is obviously a really good card. Ooh, Thermo Alchemist, and a Gurmag Angler, and a Wretched Griff. Man. Man, oh man. Those are some good blue cards. The Alchemist is good, basically, in any deck. It's obviously better if you have more spells. Midnight Scavengers is good, too. This is like the opposite of early packs we had. Like, I would have felt okay about first picking... more, well, maybe not first picking, but our second pick, I would have taken Midnight Scavengers over what we took, which was Olivia's Dragoon, and I would have taken Wretched Griff, and I would have taken Thermo Alchemist, and I would have taken Grizzled Angler. So that's saying something. I think I'm going to go for the Alchemist. Yeah. Yes, I am. Okay, well, that may have been wrong, given what we're seeing. We could take this. It may mean blue-red's pretty open, and we could start trying to go into that deck. Yeah, I think I do take the Furtive Homunculus. Okay, well, things aren't looking great here. I don't really like any of these cards. I guess I could take the decent sideboard card, and I guess that's what I'll do. Okay, an It of the Horrid Swarm, huh? Well, I guess I'm going to take it. Yeah, I am. Whether we play it, I don't know. I would guess that we do not. Yeah, this was our crappy pack that we opened. I guess Rise from the Grave is the best card. Okay, Take Inventory and Fogwalker are both things that I wouldn't mind having. I'm kind of thinking about taking the Take Inventory over Fogwalker, because we already have 2 payoffs for playing spells. And there's also Shreds of Sanity. So I think this deck's pretty open, based on what we're seeing here. The blue-red deck, that is. So, yeah, we'll take Inventory over Fogwalker and hope we pick up a few more of those. Supplicant, I guess. We have some... There we go. Second Take Inventory. I did draft 4 once, and I have to say it was awesome. My deck on the whole was like a C, but 4 Take Inventories, like you would just play 1 Take Inventory, draw into another, and I had like Thermo Alchemist and stuff too, and it was awesome. Okay, Thermo Alchemist number 2 is probably what we take here. Guardian Priest is good, and we already have one, but I think we want the Thermo Alchemist here. Deranged Whelp is also good. Wouldn't mind the Take Inventory wheeling, and it may very well, given how many that we got, but we take a second Thermo Alchemist here. And we really want to prioritize spells. Ooh, Mercurial Geists versus Spreading Flames. I think we take the Geists. It's another payoff. I do like Cryptolith Fragment as well, but the Geist is exactly what we're looking for. Now there's Guardian Priest. Lots of those going around. Yeah, we're going to take the Geists here. So... this pack isn't awesome. Spontaneous Mutation's not bad. Neither is Terrarion, I guess. I guess we probably just take Fortune's Favorite. It is a spell. It draws us cards. It's not awesome, but I like it more than Otherworldly Outburst in most situations. I would probably play 1 Outburst in a deck like this, but I think we go with Fortune's Favor. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we're upping our spell count. I don't think you ever want to play Contingency Plan. I'm trying to envision a scenario where you do, and I just don't think you ever should. What makes it bad is that unlike other cards that help you get Delirium, it doesn't really do anything. I guess you sort of get to scry in a way, and that's like it, but there's a reason we picked it up as late as we did. There is a reason. So I'm hoping we get to 4 Take Inventories, or at least 3. We know there's a 3rd going around. Well, there's Ride Down, which I'll still never get a chance to play. Not this time, anyway. It's probably just the Cultist. Nothing else for us here, really. I don't like Prophetic Ravings a whole lot. So I think it's just the Cultist. I like it more than the Brute. Drawing cards is something we're going to want to be doing. Cultist Staff isn't terrible either, although our deck's not going to be super creature heavy, so... Another Cultist, but also a 3rd Thermo Alchemist. Hello. Can't say no to that. We definitely need to pick up more spells, but we have all the spell payoffs you could ever want. Okay, I think we definitely want to unsubstantiate given what we've got going on here with spells. I think Falconwrath Reaver would be nice, but we have like plenty of 2-drops already, and unsubstantiate is a good card, especially when you have 3 Thermal Alchemists, a Mercurial Geist, and a Curious Homunculus. Wow, now we can pick up a second Homunculus? I think we do it. I think we do it. Lupine Prototype, not what our deck's going to be wanting, I don't think. Yeah, we're taking a second Homunculus. Yeah, the signals were correct. The deck is open. We do take a 3rd Take Inventory, and I think there's still a 4th one, isn't there? Is this the pack we open? No, there might be one in the next pack. Spontaneous Mutation's not bad, but... Ha 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 ha! Yeah, we're getting there. 4 Take Inventories. Okay, well now things are a little more disappointing. I'd probably just take an Innkeeper. It's a fine card. Not one I love. Distemper of Blood's a spell, but it's just so bad in our deck. Like, we have 3 creatures with Defender, for one thing, and for another, it's not an instant, so we're just going to take the Innkeeper. It might make our deck. It's the kind of card I cut probably like half the time. I mean, it's nice. If you can play it on turn 4 consistently, you can often choke your opponent off of a color of mana for a turn, and at worst, you do keep them... Like, if your opponent's about to curve out, the problem with it is you don't always know if your opponent's about to curve out. It may not even have an impact. But I've definitely had it played against me when it had an impact. So the question is, do we have enough spell payoffs to want to just be playing another cantrip? I think the answer is probably no. But it is on color, so I guess I'll take it, even though Thraben Foulbloods is the best card there. Okay, Cultist Staff or Prophetic Ravings. I guess I'll take the Staff. And I'll take this thing. So we definitely would like more spells. Like we can basically just take like all spells, I feel like. We want creatures with prowess and spells. Like other than that, we are kind of set for our win conditions between our homunculi, our thermo alchemists, and our mercurial geists. And we do already have 7 spells, which isn't bad, but we definitely want more. I mean, maybe if I had like 6 thermal alchemists, I'd be like, let's run contingency plan. Let's do this. I guess contingency plan actually works pretty well with Curious Homunculus. Okay, so Tormenting Voice is pretty good, but I'd probably just take Avacyn's Judgment. We could find ways to madness it, and even if we don't, it's a solid card. Also happens to be a spell. Furtive Homunculus isn't something I'd hate wheeling, and neither is the Arsonist, so we can have some more late game punch other than this, but I think we just take the spell here. Kindred, you know, I wouldn't even hate it that wheeled. It's fine. Same with Tormenting Voice. There's lots of cards we could get back here. We'll take the Judgment. Right now, we don't have a way to madness it, right? Other than drawing so many cards, we have to discard one. Which could happen. The 4-take inventory deck. 4-take inventory, 3 thermo alchemists. That is a beautiful thing. I don't think I've ever gotten more than 2 thermo alchemists, so, or more than one of these. He's not nearly as good, I don't think, as the alchemist, but he's solid. I mean, playing things for cheaper is a relevant thing. Okay, well here we have Just the Wind and we have Pour Over the Pages. You know what we didn't get is Weaver of Lightning. That would have been nice. We actually don't have a whole lot of removal right now. As good as Pour is, especially because it works well with Avacyn's Judgment, I feel like we actually want more ways to interact with our opponent's stuff. And Just the Wind allows that. Like right now we just have Unsubstantiate, Avacyn's Judgment, and Galvanic Blast. That's it. Galvanic Bombardment, that is. I wish that was Galvanic. Well, it'd be the same, I guess, more or less. So Just the Wind, I think, is the pick here. I love Pour Over the Pages. If it comes back, I'll be thrilled. We want some Pyre Hounds is what we really want in this pack. Okay, we have Gone Missing, a second Pour, and a Press for Answers. Now I think I take Pour. We now have 2 cards with Madness. Pour is just a great way to restock and then Madness something out. Although Madnessing out Avacyn's Judgment isn't that great, but Just the Wind is. Depends how much mana I have. Either way, though, a card that triggers all of our triggers and then lets me draw cards, more cards that will trigger triggers is good. And Gone Missing is okay, but I think Pour is just better. Okay, Niblis of Dusk, I think, is what we take here. It's a creature that likes spells, and our deck likes spells, certainly. Here we have the choice between Press and Gone Missing. Press lets us draw more cards, basically, and that's pretty relevant. Gone Missing does too, but it's a lot clunkier about it, but it is a little more interactive. Well, we want one of them. We don't want, I mean, Structural Distortion's okay for our sideboard, I guess, but we don't want it right now. It's either Press or Gone Missing. I'm kind of leaning towards Press. Yeah, I'm going to take Press. Drawing more cards seems good. Okay, here we are left with a choice that doesn't involve us actually getting to take a spell, unfortunately. We could still take something that triggers Niblis, and I guess this is a spell, and maybe in a deck with 3 Thermo Alchemists and stuff you want it, but I don't like it. Spiteful Motives is a good card, but when you have 3 Thermo Alchemists out of 10 creatures, it's not nearly as good. It's pretty bad, actually. Fleeting Memories isn't going to do it for us. Ghostly Wings, again, same problem, Defender. So it's either like, I think we just take like a 2-drop like Ember Eye Wolf. As unexciting as that is, I think that's the pick here. We have a lot of 2-drops in this deck. Our curve's kind of silly. And we have a lot of good 2-drops too. It's not just like Falcon Wrath Reavers over here. Although I wouldn't mind one of those. I think he's better than Ember Eye Wolf, so. What we're really lacking is like a big spell that can remove a lot of creatures, though. That is something that we'd really like to see. We saw that Spreading Flames, but I don't remember. I think we took Mercurial Geists over it. It was hard to say no to that. Like, I wouldn't mind Reduced to Ashes right now. Ugh. Well, I guess Jace's Scrutiny is actually solid in this deck. I mean, most of the time it's not even going to enable us to trade, but it's a spell, and that's important. Stensia Masquerade and Voldaren Duelist are both good, but they're both good in decks that are actually aggressive, and I don't think ours is. So Scrutiny. Okay, good. Another Just the Wind makes me really happy. Crawling Sensation's pretty sweet, but not for us. This may be the most 2-drops I've ever drafted in my life, and it just continues to go up here. So, all right, Rush, I guess, is what we take here. I don't think we're going to play it again because we have 3 creatures with Defender. All right, so now we can sort of just hate draft, even though it's almost irrelevant to do so here. But we'll take that Ox away from someone. We'll take Biting Rain, Ethereal Guidance. So our deck is done. We actually have to trim a few things. It might just be like the Innkeeper. I mean, it's fine. I guess it gives us another relevant, like, big-ish body in addition to our Outcast. I never get, like, even when this deck comes together this well for me, I have never once gotten a Pyrehound in it in this format. In triple Shadows I would, but it's so strange. Like, the deck was clearly open, but maybe there just weren't any. Oh, this looks a little different, doesn't it? Yeah, you can save multiple decks, which is more relevant in Sealed. It's kind of hard here to build more than one deck, though sometimes you can in Limited. I don't think we can though. Yeah, I mean, we spent some picks on some early white cards, so we don't have much sideboard. So it's probably just the Homunculus. Where did he go? Probably cut him. This Homunculus rather than these. We have 13 spells. I think that's a pretty good number when you've got the Thermo Alchemist thing going on. The question is, do I like the Homunculus more than Ember Eye Wolf? Or do I just also want to cut Ember Eye Wolf? I think we may just want to cut both. Group creatures separately real quickly. So we have 5 2-drops that are creatures. So that sort of shows us more clearly what we have going on. Sadly, I think we want the Innkeeper because, like I said, we just don't have that many big creatures. We also don't have great ways to deal with big creatures other than bouncing them, which is a relevant way, but yeah, I think this is the deck. Fortune's Favor works pretty well with our Homunculus. So that's nice. I guess it works okay with Take Inventory too. Like if one gets binned, at least we get the value later. Yeah, that's a cool card. I've yet to cast it, or had it cast against me, but I think we want it in this deck. All right, well, I think this is our deck more or less. I think 10 creatures is plenty in a deck like this. Our Homunculus, I guess, also transforms into a big threat in the latter part of the game. So that's relevant. All right, so we're going to sort by color here. We're very blue and not that red. Other than our Thermo Alchemist, really. So we have 1 double blue. I think we can probably just go 9/8 so that our mana can be a little more consistent. All right, well, this is the deck. I'm not actually going to get to play with it right now, but as far as you guys know, it'll be instantaneous because I'll be recording. You know, once the video comes out, it'll all be together. But yeah. That's the cool thing about these leagues, though. Like, I only had about 45 minutes to spare, and all I can do is draft right now. And I think we did a pretty good job, despite the one thing like I said, we don't have is great removal, but we might find it. So we might, be fine without it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the first match, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.